Hey everybody, we're here. We're back, and we're like on time and a half an hour in advance of
Early bird
everyone
gets
else.
the worm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing it a little early tonight because look, it's still Wednesday. It's close enough, people. Really, like
Yeah.
we'll just call it daylight savings time ish or something like that. But welcome to Prep Talk Live, episode 119. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as per usual, is Tup the Urban Prepper. Tup, what's going on? How are
But
you?
I'm
It's
doing
been a
pretty good.
while.
Yeah, I was just wondering, when was the last time it's been weeks now. But doing pretty good overall. Let's see, I cleaned my office a little bit today. I have a
Very
we did
nice.
we did a little bit earlier today because I have some evening festivities to go to. But
Which
I
is
don't,
part of why we're doing things a little early. Look,
yeah, I
we just
appreciate.
the schedule for this is 5:30 on Wednesdays, unless one of us decides we don't like that plan anymore, and then we just shift it all around.
Yeah. So, but things are going good. Trying to crank out some videos. I have some stuff that I'm working on. And some various prepping projects to kind of wrap up the year. We're kind of like in wrap up the year mode type thing.
Yeah, we're kind of in that mode where it's like it's end of the year, and also like the holidays are coming up, and there's like time off. Like I just found out my kids are basically off school for a week, like
Oh,
starting
right
tomorrow.
now?
With like no, like we knew that they were missing one day, but then we just got a note from the school that like, oh, it's closed tomorrow, and it's closed on Monday, and the other school is closed on Tuesday. We're like,
Oh, jeez.
we could have just taken a week off.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
yes. I don't. I hope I hope my kids are going to school tomorrow. That's we need that.
Yeah, I think it's Veterans Day or something. There's some holiday
Okay.
on Monday, but then they're doing conferences, and then they added more. I have no idea. There's a staff development day. It's school is really like optional at this point. It's like a
Yeah.
luxury. Like
We
you
had a
go or not go.
we had a fun Halloween on Friday, even though it was raining, because we put on a big haunted house type thing, and we have like our numbers were low this year, and we're right at 1,000 kids that came.
Holy cow!
But we normally are in like the 13 to 1400 range. Next year, I think Halloween's on a Saturday, so we're anticipating like 1500 if the weather stays. But I dress up as Leatherface and I jump out of the bushes with a chainsaw, and it's the only time I could do that in the year without getting arrested for it. So it's but it's like fun. My kids are. I know this doesn't have anything to do with prepping except for maybe chainsaw. Chainsaw is a
Like
survival.
chainsaws are prepping related. We've touched that.
You
Now we'll
want a
just chat.
chainsaw? Yeah, actually, you want a
Yeah.
chainsaw. But my son dresses up as Jigsaw, and my daughter was the girl from The Ring that comes out of the well. So I make a well and everything. But anyway,
Wow.
it was a blast, and it was raining, and I was a lot of kids were crying. So uh,
Yeah,
so
we had they called it an atmospheric river. Is that what they're calling it in Seattle or the
atmospheric
Seattle
river.
area?
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, they called it an atmospheric river in Portland, and it was
what?
just like just dumping rain,
Yeah,
and
we got
then we're getting it again tonight.
okay. Yeah, we unofficially called it the dreaded Halloween monsoon, is what.
Monsoon.
But
Yeah,
I don't know what's the official name.
yeah. We
Uh,
had
uh,
the first year that we did not go trick or treating with our kids.
yeah,
It was big transition year, so it was like the high schooler went with some of his friends and then came back and watched movies, and the middle schooler got to go with their friends in a friend's neighborhood and do that whole thing.
yeah.
So we were. It was an intro. It was like a shift. We were like looking at dots and seeing what neighborhoods the kids were in and all of that.
Wow. But yeah, it was definitely fun. Not too much to do with prepping, other than I used some of my prepping gear for flashlights and for headlamps and gloves and stuff. But other than
Right.
some paracord was used.
And paracord was used. What
So I guess
I have to
I'm
throw
trying
them
to
in the
roll this
well?
into the prepping topic. But
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of yeah, I would think it I mean, there was a lot of like one of the things we're I think working on with the kids is just better communication, logistical communication because they haven't really had to do a lot of that being younger and kind of we manage all of the schedules and all of the things. Um, but getting them to a point now where because they have their own like clubs and sports and all that sort of stuff um, that happens during the day, teaching them the skill of like, okay, you need to actually communicate times, dates, plans, think a couple of steps ahead of like what who would offer you a ride? Like, is it mom? Is it dad? Like, what do our schedules look like, and that sort of thing. Uh,
Yeah.
how many people can we fit in a car if we're picking up your friends? Like, don't promise 10 people rides because we only have 5 seats. Um, so that sort of stuff, which is kind of prepping related.
Yeah. Yeah, we have I think we've talked about code words before for some
Yeah.
of the pickup stuff, and now I have AI code words. The same code words that apply for like pick up by strangers, they also apply for if you get a strange call that sounds exactly like me. What's the code word type stuff
Oh, that's
for
fantastic.
spoofing type thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder.
it sounds just like dad, but he would never talk like this. Like so,
We're watching Only Murders in the Building. Have you watched that?
no,
Oh,
sounds very romantic.
it is. It is. It's Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez,
Okay,
um, and it's on Hulu. And we'd heard about it, but like it wasn't on our list. And my brother, recommended it to me. We went to see Adam Sandler last week, and he was like, "You have to watch it. It's got like 5 seasons." And so we're in season 2, and there's a thing with a phone call where they think that they are communicating with one person and it turns out they're communicating with someone completely different.
ooh,
And your code word thing, I think, is a good relevant thing there about like, okay, if you're getting uh calls or texts from people that are claiming to be someone you know, having some way to validate that beyond just trusting them.
cool. Yeah, I think it's kind of the world we're in now. We kind of have to think about these things
Yeah.
that 5 years ago we weren't thinking of AI code words, but now it's a
Yeah. I continue to try this password rollout with the family, and um, it's been challenging for me to try to do it using a password app for managing passwords and trying to create better passwords and that sort of thing. Um, but then also being able to share passwords with kids and family members if we needed to. Um, have you done anything with two-factor authentication with stuff for your like kids accounts as opposed to like your own personal account?
yeah, not really for kids accounts. I mean, we have a special password like system that we all use. My son
Yeah,
uses it. My daughter uses it now for
yeah,
where we have our jumbled up thing, and then we have like a slug that we add to the end of it that
yeah,
makes sense. So like if so my wife knows like probably what the password is, and I have like
yeah,
3 or 4 variations, depending on like if it's personal versus if it's YouTube. Like for my
yeah,
urban prepper, it has a certain I have a certain way of doing it, and she would be able to figure it out. Uh,
yeah,
but for two-factor authentication, no, I don't have anything dedicated for the kids like that. Probably should.
yeah. Because I'm uh, with things like social media stuff and everything. They're not supposed to have it. They do because some of their friends do, and we have some restrictions on what they are allowed and what they're not allowed to do. You can see friends stuff and message, but you're not able to post with your face or any of that sort of stuff. Um, but with so many people like stealing, we actually had somebody steal our son's Facebook account like
Oh,
6 or 8 months ago. And it turned out it was the sibling of somebody who was friends with our youngest, and um, he was just kind of a uh, um, not, hooligan is the wrong word. I'm trying to not like he wasn't like a hardened criminal or anything like that. He was a teenager who was just up to no good.
yeah,
And he somehow guessed the passwords and was able to get in, and then posted some really concerning posts on his account. So we started getting emails and messages and text messages from everybody we knew, like what's going on. So I've been thinking about how to introduce them to two-factor authentication, um, and um, dabbling with the idea of using the password app for that,
hmm,
um, instead of, because I find that a lot of them are like some things require a Google authenticator and some require Microsoft authenticator and some
yeah.
require, and so you end up with like 4 or 5 different authenticator apps, and
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to worry about that, and so
And I've
that's a
switched
thing
phones
I'm
before, and
working
there's
through.
one where it's using this one authenticator app. I have no idea where how to put it back
Yeah,
on my new phone because it was on an old phone. So yeah, we had a similar problem back when my son was maybe in second grade or so, or third grade, where his good friend, like someone hacked into his school account where they could message the teachers and was writing inappropriate things to the teacher because he was able to kind of figure the school used kind of like a stock password with variations. He was able to figure it
yeah,
out, and we thought it was this. We were blaming this other kid, but it ended up being who somebody thought was his friend, and so they had a little falling out after that. They've made peace 4 or 5 years later, but uh, yeah, geez, these are the things that we have to worry about now. Two-factor
yeah,
authentication
exactly.
for kids.
For
I
kids,
my kids don't have Facebook or anything. My son has a teenage Instagram
yeah,
we have very strict rules on, and I tell him I track everything that he does. But yeah, for
yeah,
Facebook, you have to be careful.
yeah.
Yeah, my
We
daughter
have
doesn't have a
all of.
phone. She's not allowed to have a phone until she's in high school. So that's
Oh,
her
well,
rule.
that's fantastic. Yeah, we have everything not necessarily locked down, but like we know all of your passwords, we know all of your things. If we ever ask to get into something and you don't provide that information, you lose all access to everything. Like, uh, sort of those sorts of rules and
Yes.
that sort of stuff. And for the most part, they're pretty good about all of it. Um, so we haven't had to worry about it. But um, as I think about things like password sharing and you know when we were their age we didn't have to worry about that sort of stuff, and now you think about every day like how many passwords and how many
Yeah.
verifications and everything we're getting, and it's like okay, they're going to do, how do we set them up so that they're not on an island. But
Yeah, I don't even know if that's stuff that you include. Like, yeah, I think you have like a in case of emergency binder with all this
yeah,
emergency docs and stuff. But there's some things I don't even my if something happened to me, my wife would never be able to get into my Ledger Nano or something like that. I don't think she'd ever figure out like the yeah.
so
I got to
I
do some of that.
actually yeah, so I actually used chat gpt in my quest to do like a family wiki thing.
Yeah, how's that
And
going?
good. I mean, um, it's still a bit of a mishmash of like some stuff is in Google Docs and some stuff is in folders and stuff. Um, but what I was able to do is use ChatGPT to talk through the more complicated. Some people might call it convoluted. I call it complicated. Um, ways that that I've set stuff up so that if anyone ever needed to get in, they would know how to do that. And one of the things was with crypto, because you know I have crypto. I have a crypto app that
Mhm.
I use, and we have a little bit of crypto. I think most people at this point have a little bit of crypto, but like it's not. If you don't know what to do with it, you have no idea how to access it or anything like that. And my wife has no interest and no idea and all of that sort of stuff. So I made a standard operating procedure for crypto and put it in a Google Doc and had
Oh, nice.
ChatGPT help me write it of like, if something happens to me, here is the crypto that we have. Here is the long term, here is the short term, here are the apps that we use, and here is how you would sell it, or here is what you would do with it, or whatever. Um, just so that she would know. So I think for your Ledger Nano, that's even another level because it's hardware and
Yeah.
you need passphrases and all that sort of stuff. So um, I found that using ChatGPT to try to explain some of this is way more helpful than trying to type it yourself.
Yeah, that's a good. I get a new project every time we talk, and now
Like,
I gotta up my game a little bit.
is that why your wife calls me the Oracle? I
You
think,
are
or
still
something
the
like that.
oracle, and
I'm still the.
she wants me to come down the port. I gotta maybe I could do like some kind of business. It has to be a business trip, and we'll go
Yeah,
meet back there.
we'll have a YouTube summit.
Yeah, YouTube summit, and
That's it's a business trip. We'll talk about YouTube and we'll talk about all of this sort of stuff.
I think I
Um,
was looking at the chat room. Chuck's saying it's lonely in there for the chat room. Where is everyone?
yeah, exactly. It's a little. It's
Is it? It's
it's
like
a
looks like our interface on Restream's a little upgraded. It's a little
yeah.
different
There
now.
was some changes that were made.
Yeah,
I don't know what they all are, but.
yeah. For a while,
Um,
I didn't even know that. I thought there was no chat, and then I thought there was no chat, and then I oh okay, I minimized it, but.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think we have a Twitch bot maybe talking to us, so that's good too.
yeah, exactly. We got somebody
We'll
on
take
Twitch. We
we'll
got
take what we could
YouTube
get
people.
for yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's more people watching. They may not be chatting, but
Yeah,
they're at least watching.
we
We
need
can
to
see that.
we feed off the chat, so if you are tuning in, just say hi and then we'll say hi back.
Exactly. Also, we are really just here to facilitate the chat. I
Yeah.
mean, that has been established for a very long time.
I've been having to do some EDC repair stuff. Like I'm having screws fall out and like they're like so I'm worried. I'm like, oh man, someone's gonna see me and they're gonna EDC check me. I'm not gonna have my flashlight because my the flashlight clip like it has
Or
this.
you're gonna pull out the flashlight and it's gonna like explode like in a cartoon where the
Oh
springs
jeez,
and it
yeah.
flies everywhere.
There's been a few things that like my zippers, not my pants zipper, but my my mini medi zippers all breaking
Talk
and
to me again about the prepper bulge.
yes.
Yeah,
It's dreaded. But
yeah.
yeah, so like now I'm having like to do I'm on my secondary flashlight and on my primary. My knife is getting a little wiggly, so it's a EDC maintenance stuff I have to do. But you have to it's the torque those Torx bits like I have to have like I can't seem to find my that's why I was cleaning my office because I can't find my right screwdriver Torx bit screwdriver to fix my gear. But those are
Uh,
these are prepper problems. Not
they
everyone
are
has to deal
prepper
with these.
problems. My wife for I think it was my birthday. It was either my birthday or Father's Day. Got me the ratchet screwdriver
Nice.
torque bit thing that
Yes,
was all over
I saw
TikTok and everything.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So I got one of those, and it's fantastic. Highly recommend it. I can
Yeah.
send you the link, but
Yeah,
yeah, it the
I saw it maybe just a couple days ago, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should really get that," and then I didn't end up doing it. But trying to think what
yes,
other prepping projects I have going on. A lot of it's just like prepping's like a lot of prepping is kind of boring maintenance, restocking that kind of stuff. So like, there's not always exciting things to show. Uh,
yeah. I
having
was.
still having battles on my. Not everyone's following my PDFs, and
Oh my
like
goodness.
we had
Yeah.
like a power outage briefly, and so they grabbed all the stuff out of my power outage kit. Now the power outage kit is completely in shambles, and the PDF is not being adhered to, and the junk drawer is not. The PDF is sitting right there; it's not being adhered to. My pantry with my nice color dots and stuff, it's completely like all over the place. I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
It really
I need
is
the
an
prepper police
interesting.
to come. The prepper police to
Yeah, it is an interesting thing about kind of like with a lot of these prepping projects, it's really like organization. It's
yeah
like, okay, we're going to organize this thing in a very specific way. But then, like, the way that life goes, it will become over time disorganized again.
yeah
And it it's rarely ever like, oh, well, I moved something, I need to take it back. I just think there's something about human nature that doesn't let us do that very well. And so then, like, every 6 months, you're like, well, wait a minute, this thing is completely a disaster. Okay, I have to spend a bunch of time and redo all of that and then move on. And then it falls apart again. It's like your
yeah
garage. It's like a garage.
yeah. My garage is getting better, but it's still where's his and hers shelves and stuff
Hmm.
like that. It's an ongoing issue. Like, uh,
I should show you ours. Ours is very much like uh, it's kind of like a store ish, but it's like one side is like all of the household stuff, and then there's food, and then there's prepping stuff, and then there's like sporting equipment, and it's like on different cabinets, different
yeah,
aisles.
we have some random. She was like canning. Like we have so many sliced jalapenos in pressure can, like in cans or in jars. And I'm like, what do we? We can never eat this many jalapenos, even if we ate jalapenos every day. But and so I'm trying to pick, but I have to pick my battles on what to get rid of. But uh,
Yeah,
I had another thing I was going to bring up on this one. Oh man, I just lost it. It'll come
uh,
back.
prepper project problems. That's
Prepper
I
project
think that
problems. Yeah,
should be a shirt.
yeah.
That should be a shirt. Uh,
Yeah, prepper problems. Like for me, is that's like the PP is
yeah,
prepper
you
triple
don't want to
P.
have a big you don't want to have big PP. You want to have smaller
Yes.
PPs. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
What
There's
else?
actually a finance guy that I watch. They Meet Kevin, and he started his own fund ETF, and it was PP something, and it was for I think it was uh, profit. What is it? It's like profit power or something, but it was the ability to like still pricing power, and
Okay.
that it was companies that even if there was a decline in the economy, could still increase pricing and get people to buy stuff. And so
Yeah.
he was always talking about companies' PPs.
I was actually going to talk to the Oracle you on
Hmm.
uh my wife's been wanting me to you should I don't know I think she wants to take over my office that's like in the house, and she wants me to have like a outbuilding for my YouTube and prepping stuff. And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, Casey has an outbuilding and it's all solar powered and all sorts of stuff, and
Yeah,
bulletproof. And so I'm like, maybe I should talk to it's like,
it has bunker
yeah.
hideouts and all kinds of things.
Yeah, so it's a negative pressure room and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff. But so I'm trying to figure out if I need to. That should be a fun project for the early next year type thing. But
yeah. Well, and I think, I mean, you are handy enough. You might be able to do a lot of it yourself more than I did. I was
yeah,
like,
I'm not that handy on like construction or anything like that. So I was debating on like, can you buy like a tiny home, or you buy like the scaffolding where you can then fill it in and have it all
oh yeah, no, there was,
YouTube office ready type thing.
yeah. So there actually are like there was, um, you can kind of go to like buy a shed from
Yeah,
like Home Depot, put it in, and then um, insulate it and do all of that. There was a company that was local in Portland that actually like prefab built them, and they would build it, put it on a trailer, drive it to your house, and take a crane and just drop it in your backyard.
yeah,
Um, and then we ended up going in kind of a middle ground of we hired a contractor to build it, but we used like an online building plan, and so it's built like it's a shed ish, but we used more of like house building material instead of
okay.
shed building material, so it's a little bit sturdier, and we could adjust like some of the dimensions and some of that sort of stuff.
And so what you're in now, like what's the dimensions of it?
It's 12 by 14, I think,
Okay, yeah, I think it's something
or
along those lines is what.
14 by 60. Our county building code, it has to be less than 250 square feet to not require a building permit.
Okay,
And so it's whatever combination of 12 and 14 uh, got it to be not 250 square feet.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, I might have to in the future. I might maybe we'll both be in sheds.
I'll send you the plans.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, we had
maybe
to.
we should have matching
Yeah,
bunkers.
well, I mean, you buy the plans online and then you can use them. So,
Yeah,
I mean, um, it's a pretty standard shape for a kind of studio sort of a setup.
yeah.
Um, I've added all kinds of other craziness into it, so um, that was all kind of custom and over the top. But like the actual building itself is pretty straightforward.
All right. Cool.
Um,
These you have your people contact my people, and we'll start exchanging
I
plans. And
will. I will. We'll get it taken care of. Yeah. Um, at least you can take it and start shopping around with contractors and get an idea of what
yeah,
the cost would be and some of that sort of stuff.
cool.
Um, there was something else that I was thinking about today that I was like, oh, this is a could be a prepping conversation, and now I've completely forgotten what it was.
Yeah, we're a little rusty on like
We
our
are.
freestyle. Like it's we go a couple weeks without talking, and then our freestyle abilities just drop.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's I think yeah, we're just kind of all we're a little rusty. We
And
try
to be
not to
honest,
be.
I'm coming straight from like a work meeting where we're talking about something completely different, and then just boom, and you're talking prepping stuff.
We're
So
like right into prepping, and then
yeah,
you're off to the
we
comedy show.
went full prepper, and then just like it's hard to go full prepper right after like other like normal stuff.
Yes. Oh, it was your video that you posted this week with a lovely shout out to me, which
Oh
I
yes,
appreciated.
yeah.
Yes.
I didn't call it bougie press, but it was inspired by that, and
Yeah.
it was also inspired by my wife's saying I'm spending too much money on these big ticket items. But I'm like, oh, what's Casey and I have talked about that. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic video as per usual. Um, oh, the other thing that I was getting, which your uh, event that you had in
Yeah.
Seattle is so apparently my algorithm and my wife has maybe influenced my algorithm, and that I am getting tons now of minimalist videos of like how to minimize like your stuff in your house and clutter and all kinds of stuff. Um, and so one of the things that I've got on the agenda for like this week and I don't know, next week maybe too or whatever, is starting to actually go through like all of the old extra random blankets that I've like held on to because as a prepper, you feel like you can never have too many blankets. Like I think we have too many blankets. So like that stuff is gonna go and you
Yeah.
know, I was looking at like backpacks that I just held on to because they were expensive when I bought them, but like I have
Yeah.
never ever used them. Um, that sort of stuff. Um,
I have a
Starting
backpack
to kind of
wall over
clear that
here
out.
with backpacks, fanny packs, sling bags. I thought I got rid of most of them, but they're like growing over here on this wall. But
Yeah.
yeah, but we have way too many blankets, and it's again I have to pick my battles because I want to get rid of most of them. But except if it's a wool blanket, if it's a wool blanket, that those are cherished items that we for
Oh
especially
yes.
for camping.
Yes.
They're
I found
super
a whole
expensive.
tub of stuff in our crawl space that's all of my old studio equipment from my old when I had the studio that I kind of set up initially in my house. Uh, I used like a whole different lighting setup and a
Hmm.
whole different everything. And now in my office, my new office, I have a completely different like lighting setup. Everything's smaller, everything's more module and everything. So I was like, I've held on to like the lights and all this stuff forever and just been like, oh, one of these days. I was like, no, okay, all that stuff's got to go. We got to figure that out. Um, so yeah, just tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah, we're kind of coming into like winter prep season, so that's probably a good future topic for. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah,
people are saying hi. Would blankets be bartable? Yeah, I think so. I think
yeah,
especially a wool blanket. I don't know if they want like some unicorn or some Justice League of America blanket that we have,
yeah.
but you know, but I think a military wool blanket for sure. I don't know if I'd get rid of any wool blankets.
Yeah. We don't have any. Where is the best place to buy a wool blanket?
The military supply stores, surplus stores are the ones that I
Okay.
like. If you go like where McCord Air Force Base, like when
Yeah.
any you've, but they're still expensive. They're like $80+ like for these things. So
Yeah.
downtown Seattle has a military supply store that I sometimes go to, but it's way overpriced compared to like the ones in like some rinky-dink part of town. Like those ones
Yeah.
usually find better
What
deals.
if
But
what if instead you just bought a sheep and
now
you
we're
just
talking.
and
That's
then
next level.
you sheared the sheep and made your own wool blanket? Would that be less expensive?
It'd definitely be a prepper deluxe type thing. That'd be awesome. Uh, yeah, because I have a lot of we have a ton of those the moving blankets now too, like the
Oh yeah.
art moving blankets. I have a whole thing of them in addition to wool blankets, but I want to get rid of these like pink the flower blankets and the stuff that we're just hanging on to.
Yeah. We bought a bunch of because we tried to make our deck kind of like whenever we go on vacation, there are things that we can do on vacation that are always like, oh, this is so fun. We would love to do this more. And so, like, we really love, you know, sitting in a hot tub at night when we're on vacation. And it was like, okay, we got a hot tub before, you know, during COVID. And it was like, fire pit. Okay, we've got a fire pit now and all that sort of stuff. And so the blankets were big for when we're sitting out either, you know, at the fire pit or, you know, after being in a hot tub or whatever, like, okay, let's have some blankets to do that. We've got 3 or 4 iterations of, you know,
Oh,
blankets for 6 or 8 people. And it's like, okay, I don't know. My prepping instinct is like, hold on to it. But I feel like there is that fine line between being prepared and cluttering for no particular reason. And I feel like
yeah,
that is, I've
there's a
hit that
fine
line.
line between prepping and hoarding.
Yeah, exactly. It's like obscenity. Like you don't really know what it is, but you know it when you see it. You're like, okay, this is hoarding, this is prepping.
Yeah. There's some random stuff, like, I was cleaning out my closet a little there's this random, like, preps, I don't know why I was still holding some like, the little tags that I use on, like, my bags and stuff for my
Yeah.
backpacks. I have so many of these, like, these keychain tags, there's no way I could use all of them, so I actually threw away like, I bought them, but I don't need this I don't need, like, 1,000 of these things.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I needed 12, but it
Yeah.
came in a
I
bulk
need, like,
pack
less than
from
50, like,
yeah.
let's check in the comments, we got Chuck, we got
Yeah, the
Pigs,
fort that you could make with those blankets
Zoe,
would be epic.
Andrea,
That is 100% true.
Mother of Healers, the fort you could make with all yeah, back in the day, like, making forts in, like, the living room or the kitchen was, like that was the thing to do for and wool
Oh,
blanket
yeah.
would have been awesome for that if we didn't have them. We had, regular
Yeah, or just or down comforters, like, all that sort of stuff.
yeah,
But, yeah, we've got lots of, like it's not I mean, maybe they're polyester, it's the, I don't know, fleecy sort of stuff, and we just
yeah.
have
Because
tons of those.
the real, like, authentic wool ones, they're
Yeah.
super pricey. I think some of the ones I have are, like, 80/20 or uh,
I wonder, since we have the
we look at
technology,
we have the capability to do this?
wool blankets for sale. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very here, let's just do a quick, we'll do a little screen share here. Um,
This one looks pretty good. There's a military wool blanket, 95% wool. I don't know if that's
so
one.
Australian heirloom wool blanket, $130.
Yeah.
Here's military wool blanket, $40.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but
see a
here's the question.
$60
Is
one.
this real? Or is it claiming to be real? 80% wool. So and we would want it to be you want it to be 100% wool, right?
I think that's what most people really want because, like, for like if it gets wet and stuff like that, that's the way to do it. But man, some of these ones, like, again, they're so expensive. So $40 is actually pretty good for.
Um, yeah, so we want 100% wool blanket. 85.
I feel like they use the word military like to help price up some of these things.
Yeah. Uh,
Here,
Here's a 100% wool blanket from Sheen.
yeah, here's a 100% wool blanket, premium, ultra soft, thick, blah blah blah, $99. So that seems actually pretty decent.
Fair, but this was the top. Uh, this was the top search result. Holy cow! $400, 160. Yeah.
Yeah, good point
Um,
on Chuck on the Ember getting the yeah, because we've had that when we always have them for camping. They're like the blankets that we want while camping, and
wool
you'll usually get some kind of spark that
blanket
flies on you.
is used and
Hey, Brad, welcome.
um, okay, I'm not interested in homework help at the moment. Military blankets are typically heavy duty wool, but often 80/20.
Yeah,
Um, some are 95%. Okay, so 80/20, 95, something like that. Doesn't need to be 100%.
well, like for what Chuck says is that he has a comment there. If you get an Ember on it, you will want to be 100% wool, so it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was watching Outdoor Boys, and he was talking about uh, wool blankets and embers and that sort of and stuff, and talking about that it was 100%. So I was like,
Might be a fun video to test
all
out
right,
Embers on different percentages of. Hey,
wool
here's
blankets.
how's a 70 how does the 70% wool handle
We spent
fire?
$1,000 on different
But I would
types of wool
hate
blankets,
destroying a wool
and we're
blanket.
going to light them on fire and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm testing some gas mask and it's been raining, so I haven't been able to film it because I have this containment room. uh,
Yeah.
it's like for when you're at the beach, like, and I'm gonna fill it up with. I have like tear gas over there. Sorry, algorithm, but AI don't. But it's for
You
test.
can come down to Portland.
Yeah,
You
it'll
can
I'll fit
like
right
we're
in
having
over
all
there.
kinds of fun down here.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I'll just do it in downtown Portland. It'll be cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Come to the war zone. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah, so,
Um,
I'm looking forward to doing that once the weather, permits.
if you don't have a gas mask, we just dress you up like a frog.
Yeah,
It's
I thought
all the
gas
same
mask in
thing.
Portland's pretty mandatory. I thought
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
all my
yeah,
any affiliate link that I've gotten from, I guess, they all come from Portland.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's
then from the
all
chop zone of Seattle sometimes there too.
yeah. Yeah, it was. It's such a non-event thing here. It's hilarious, but that's. Um, I would imagine it's similar. I think the Seattle thing was a little different, and like Portland 5 years ago was a little different.
Yeah,
But literally, like there's like 10 people, and they're all dressed up like inflatable animals, and it's
yeah.
comical. Um, but yeah, we're not on fire. We all joke that whenever we go to like a play downtown, or go do some charity event or something, we're like, oh, we have to go to the war zone. It's
I wonder if
everyone's suit up.
I wonder if you could get some like wool, like some sample fabric site, like small, like one by one type ones that you could use for
Oh,
testing purposes. Might be kind of cool.
that's a very interesting thing.
Try to get it to have it all wet and see. That'd be so fun.
Yeah,
That could be fun. I never thought
that
about
could
it.
be fun. I wonder. Joanne Fabrics would have been my first
Yeah, that's what I
thought,
was
but
going to think.
they
Is
just
there
went out of business.
are they? They're not around anymore.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I wonder if like Michaels, or I mean, I'm sure you could order it from somewhere, but
Yeah,
okay, we'll have
that
to
might be
do
kind of
some
fun.
digging.
Yeah,
Um, all right, so I think we got a couple more minutes before you have to
yeah.
turn into a pumpkin because
Got a
you got
hot
a big
date.
date night
Hot date.
happening.
Hot date. Yeah.
Hot date night. Um,
So
uh,
next week we should be cool.
I
There's a
think so.
slight possibility that I might have to fly to California, but we'll see.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. We'll check in.
Maybe I'll do
Again, one
a
of
trip
these
talk
weeks.
live from California. Might be what we do.
Who? What?
Maybe I'll do prep talk live from California, like reporting from.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
That would be fantastic.
that'd be a first for us.
Um, yeah, I think I think my calendar is good. We'll figure it out.
Have your
We'll check
secretary
it.
contact my secretary, and we'll
Yeah, exactly.
put it in
We'll
the books.
exchange building
Put it in the
plans.
books. Yeah,
We'll figure out when you're coming down here. It'll be great.
we'll go back to our
Or again,
normal 5:30 time slot because I know it throws people off when we're we're off by 30.
I know we're like, oh, it's 5:30, but like really, people like
So
out of 119 episodes, how many did we actually make at 5:30 on a
yeah,
Wednesday?
my
This is why you have to hit the bell, the notification bell, because that will tell you when we are actually going live.
looks. Andrea says that Michaels has the fabric now. So okay. So it'd be cool to
Okay,
have like 70, 80, 90, 9,500. Like just be able to take
exactly. And then throw embers at it and
I'm
see
gonna just
how
start
quickly.
fires. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be fantastic. All right, we'll put that. We'll work on that one.
My
That's
neighbors
a
already think I'm crazy because of the random video stuff they film outside. Oh, he's at it again. He's in a containment room with a gas mask, and why are my eyes watering?
yes. Oh, it's just another Tuesday next to Tup.
Yeah,
That's what we.
that's basically how it is.
If we ever redo this, we should rename it to Tuesdays with Tup, and we have to do it on
That could be
Tuesdays.
fun. That could be fun.
We could do it on Wednesdays and really confuse people.
Yes.
Lean into the branting. Um, all right, everybody. Well, we are gonna wrap it up. Tup's got a hot date, and I don't have a hot date, but I probably have to go have dinner.
Yep.
So we will see you all hopefully next week, Wednesday. We'll figure all of that out. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, like, subscribe, like, blah blah blah. But hit the notification bell, because we do
You
all
never
know
know.
that
You never know. Yeah.
our timing changes. So if you hit the notification bell, that's probably the best way to always know when we actually are starting the stream. So thanks a lot, and we will see you hopefully next week.
Cool.
All right. Bye, everybody.